Khadija Bonishaw has been named Footballer of the Year in England. Commissioner of Police warned gunmen in Westmoreland. Another taxi driver got shot. Man shot dead at his birthday party. And all games draw in the Premier League. This is Undiluted News. Mikey Bones reporting. Commissioner of Police Dr. Kevin Blake visited Grange Hill in Westmoreland on Friday in the midst of an increase in shootings and homicide. He sent a strong warning to potential criminals who are causing havoc in the parish. Just over a week after two students, a male and a female, were shot as they left a sports day event at Grange Hill High School, the police chief met with students and officials on Friday. Dr. Blake warned the students not to engage in illegal activity. He also urged everyone there to resist letting thugs take over Grange Hill. He said the current police team has been carefully crafted to stamp out criminal elements in hotspots across Westmoreland. He also noted that checkpoints have been set up across the parish to catch criminals, some of whom usually travel by motorcycle. The police chief added that members from the Counterterrorism and Organized Crime Investigation Branch will have an active presence in Grange Hill and across the community. And can you imagine how bad it is when you have CTOC, which is an eradication squad, providing security to a high school? The St. Andrew Parish Court was unable to hear more testimony on Friday in the fraud trial of St. James-based attorney at law Maurice McCurdy. The presiding judge was forced to postpone the proceedings after the court was informed that the prosecutor was unavailable. The trial, which started over a month ago, is to resume on May 15. Mr. McCurdy was charged in 2022 following an investigation by the fraud squad into allegations of fraud arising from a real estate deal in St. James. Mr. McCurdy was charged with fraudulent conversion following allegations that he defrauded one of his clients of millions of dollars. Prosecutors alleged that between March and August of 2022, the attorney sold a property for one of his clients for more than $5 million US. And it's alleged that he paid over a portion of the proceeds to the client, but he failed to hand over the balance of 800,000 US following the sale. And you have no idea how often this happens, where lawyers rob their clients of land and money. A St. Mary man who was convicted for killing another man during a dispute in the Orcharius market in St. Anne's 12 years ago was on Friday sentenced to 23 years in prison when he appeared before the St. Anne Circuit Court. In passing judgment, presiding Judge Justice Andrea Pettigrew Collins ruled that 53-year-old Peter Wilson must serve 18 years behind bars before becoming eligible for parole, and he was convicted for the stabbing death of a man known only as Jackie. Prosecutors had led evidence that in January of 2012, both men had a dispute inside the Ocharias market. Prosecutors said Wilson, who is disabled after losing one of his arms, was able to overpower his victim and inflict stab wounds to his body. The injured man was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. The court was told that Mr. Wilson had a long history of violence. He had 3 previous convictions in 1991, the year 2000, and in 2011, and all for the same offense of unlawful wounding. Kevin Bent, the St. Catherine businessman who was arrested and charged following the siege of an illegal firearm at a traffic stop in Old Harbor in March, was offered $2.5 million bail on Friday morning. Mr. Bent is to return to court on June 14, and his bail comes a week after his attorney, Donahue Martin and Tom Tavares Finson, made the application in the Gun Court Division of the Supreme Court. Allegations are that on March 1st, the police were on an operation along Darlington Drive in Old Harbor, St. Catherine, when a Honda CR-V sports utility vehicle driven by the accused was stopped. The police searched a bag that was on the front passenger seat, and a 9mm pistol with a magazine containing 10 rounds of ammunition was found. A St. Catherine taxi operator narrowly escaped death after an armed passenger opened gunfire at him during a commute in the parish on Friday. According to police report, the driver was traveling on Young Street in Spanish Town when a passenger reportedly removed a firearm from his waistband and opened fire, hitting him in the neck. Reports said that the injured cabby managed to skillfully drive the motorcar into a barrier, which subsequently ejected the gunman from the vehicle. He then drove himself to hospital. He was treated and admitted in serious but stable condition. The gunman reportedly fled on foot in the area, and this man is the 4th taxi driver who has been shot in about 8 days. A man was killed and another man injured in a gun attack at a pre-birthday party at Shore District in Frome in Westmoreland on Friday night. The deceased has been identified as 33-year-old Leon Anglin, otherwise called Rusty, from the community, and reports from the police are that about 9:30, Anglin was hosting his pre-birthday party at a sports bar when a motorcycle drove up with 2 men aboard. The pillion disembarked the motorcycle and entered the venue, where he opened gunfire before escaping on the bike in the direction of Rome. Onto sports led by another player of the match performance from Captain Hayley Matthews. The West Indies women registered an 8-wicket win over Pakistan women in the fifth and final T20 International in Karachi on Friday to secure a 4-1 series win. Chasing 135 to win, the West Indies replied with 136 for 2 of 18.6 overs. They were led to victory by Captain Matthews and Charmaine Campbell, who shared in a 103-run second wicket partnership. Matthews cracked 78 of 59 balls, including 11 fours, while Campbell was left not out on 33, which included 2 fours. Football. Jamaica's female striker Khadija Bonishaw has been named Footballer of the Year by the Football Writers Association in England. Shaw, who is 27 years old, is the Women's Super League top scorer this season with 21 goals in 18 games. The Jamaican star saw off competition from Chelsea's Lauren James to win the Women's Award, with Manchester City teammate Alex Greenwood coming third. The striker, who has been ruled out of the remainder of the season with a foot injury, has helped Manchester City to a 6-point lead at the top of the table. And let me remind you that before women were playing competitive football in Jamaica, Bonishaw was playing football in Spanish Town with her brothers on their local league team. Yes, she is the best in the world. Track and field. Shericka Jackson opened her 2024 competitive season with a 100 meters win at the Jamaica's Athletics Administrative Association J3A All-Comers Meet at the National Stadium on Saturday. The two-time 200 meters world champion ran 11.03 seconds to beat training partner Tina Clayton 11.20, Crystal Slowly of UTEC 11.25, and Kemba Nelson 11.30. In the men's race, Julian Forte, he opened his outdoor season running 10.07 seconds to win the men's 100 meters. Earl Simmons was second in 10.15, and Jazeel Murphy was third in 10.20. O'Shane Bailey followed in fourth with 10.022. Herbert Morrison's technical schoolboy DeAndre Daly 10.23 was just ahead of Taekwondo Tracy with 10.24. And on to Premier League, same as in the quarterfinals, the same thing happened in the semifinals. All teams scored 1 goal apiece and are all locked to play the next game winner take all. As Waterhouse and Mount Pleasant, they played to a 1-all draw last night, and Annett Gardens and Cavalier did a similar score, and now the next game will separate the men from the boys. And it seems as if all teams were totally prepared when they came into this tournament and are now ready to square off and see who is going to be the champion team this year. Tonight in NBA, the New York Knicks, after flashing off the 76ers, will take on the Indiana Pacers. And don't forget that the best news and sports takes place on this radio station. If you ever missed the news, please go to YouTube, type in Jamerican Undiluted News, listen, like, share, and subscribe to keep it going. That's news and sports on your favorite radio. My name is Mikey Bones. I gone.